So the basic of crab game movement comes from the long jump. See, there's normal jump like this. It kind of sucks, but you can go. You can press WD shift and go like that. You get a long jump, or a W shift, like look at this way. You get another long jump. So that's the first basic. The second basic is doing a beat hop, where you just chain these together. You just jump when you get on the ground. Simple beat hop, right? And after that, you can do crouch beat hops, where you crouch right before you're supposed to jump. And it doesn't really make you a whole lot faster, but it does allow you to crouch and slide. You get like essentially an infinity slide where you go like as far as you want. You do lose speed though, it's not too quick. I do also want to say on other people's movement guides, they do mention doing like flick hopping like that. I don't really know exactly how they do it, but I can tell you one thing, and a person actually admitted this, the owner of the guide. He said that it doesn't make any actual difference, it's just for looks. So if you see stuff like that, don't worry about it. It's the exact same as just doing this. Now the next thing you want to learn is fast laddering. So if you play Counter-Strike, you already know what this is. You hold a W, look this way, or WD, look this way, and you go up the ladder like that. You can, and it's a lot faster than going up normally. Here's normally. Here's fast ladder. Easy, right? Now after learning the fast ladder, next thing we're learning is the fast ladder strafe. So regular fast ladder, you go like that, it gets you up, but it doesn't really get you anywhere. So to do fast ladder strafe, I'm holding the AW shift, looking this way, go up, and then I just fling my mouse, inputting the same buttons, you can travel up. And I suggest learning how to do this before you start using it in game. You just fling your mouse around like that, and you can go from that bed up to that bed. It's really useful, especially on maps with lots of ladders. You can use this to get around very quickly. I'll show you one example on Tiny Town. So this ladder right here, it's a very important ladder for the flow of this game. So AW fast ladder, right? It's decent, it will help me escape people. But if I really want to escape people quickly with this ladder, I will do a strafe to the right. You go like that, and by the time I'm off the ladder, normally I would be right there if I hadn't moved, but now I'm over here. So now the person chasing me, they're probably going to do a slow ladder. Well, they're up here. I made it to here a lot quicker than they even made it to there. So if someone's chasing you, you go up here, strafe this way, and you can already make it. Now, if you incorporate a lot of the text I just showed you, you're going to notice on a lot of maps, you're going to be taking fall damage all the time, right? See, I want to get over there, and I make the jump. Oh no, I take fall damage. Okay, well there's two ways that you can get rid of fall damage, right? The first one, which is very obvious, is hitting these ramps. Now, this isn't the best example, but you can negate all fall damage by just crouching on a ramp like that. And there's other maps that it works a lot better on. But normally you take fall damage from this height, you land on it, no fall damage. And the second one I wanted to show you is called the wall bug. And I figured this one out on accident. So normally if I fell down, I'll be taking fall damage, obvious enough, right? But if you go on the wall of the map, you just don't take fall damage. I have no clue why it's like that, but it's incredibly useful for certain maps because it actually changes how you can play the map and how you can escape people by negating all this fall damage, because most people wouldn't want to follow you down there because, you know, they're likely going to die from the fall, especially if they're on low HP already. So you just top down, hug the wall, you're good. So there's one more tech I wanted to show. This one is kind of strange. I haven't seen a whole lot of it. I haven't experimented with it a ton, but I found it pretty recently. So normal, when you just do your b-hopping, you just go in like that. It's a pretty consistent speed. But I did notice when you're on the walls and you're hugging the walls, you do go a lot faster. I'm not really sure why, but you can see like an obvious speed up there, right? Like at the end, I jump from here, from like this line, absolutely like just a ton of speed, and it gets better the longer you're on it. It's like, it kind of like builds up. I have no clue what causes it, but again, on these large maps, you can exploit this and go very quick. So the ramps I was talking about is like all of these types of ramps. If you're up very high and you fall onto them, you can crouch and just negate fall damage. You also get a lot of speed, especially if you actually input during it. So any slope surface. Now this slope surface doesn't always look like this. There's other slope surfaces that you can do this type of thing on, where you negate fall damage or get a lot of speed off of. Some are very strange maps that you wouldn't expect it on. But It's very important for negating fall damage and the flow of certain maps. I would also like to make a point on the point of the slope that you actually start your slide on is really important. Now see, here on Sussy Sandcastle, it's very obvious to tell because it's a very large slope. So if we do it at the top, we'll see how much speed we get, right? It's not too much. But if we try to jump further down and do it near the end of it, we get a lot more speed. Now that all that carries over to smaller ramps. So if we go on the smaller ramp, if we go on the bottom bit, we'll get a lot more speed. We get a decent amount of speed. But if we go on the top part, you don't get as much speed. So it's usually better to try to land like as low as you can on the slope, but there is kind of a sweet spot because if you land like on the very lowest point, you don't get much speed. It's like around there, maybe like 75% of the way down the slope seems to be like the sweet spot for getting a lot of speed.
There's a fear of a nightfall when darkness comes and covers all. Sometimes we feel pain. Sometimes we feel pain. If he falling that floor, don't go. Gone. Niggas ain't built for this page of my art. All this champagne put a stain on my heart. Don't pick up my feet, built for this part. If you wasn't here for them lungs, walk. Pick up my hip and I'm just like a guard. People's like brothers, just use them and toss. Take a shit like Moses, they part.
Man, I can't tell what you mean. How does your black feel like business to me? Industry lies never line up on screen. Nigga keep scoring, I feel like the dream.
Yeah, what you want? Tell them to think I've been real from the start. Never hesitate to shoot at the star. Stocked up on weapons and pussy and cars.
Just thought you should know. Look at this lane that I made, it was fake. And these veggie grill niggas don't really want beef. Real niggas dying and fakers replace them. Now I see my DNA all in y'all beats.